I don't see anything yet.
I liked your face
Wow.
turn to the camera.
Hi
Uh-oh.
everyone, you're here. Go ahead, Michael, take it away.
Hey guys, welcome to the Storymakers Tribe. I don't even know the Storymaker Tribe interview series. Today we'll be talking with Crystal Liechty, who's in
How'd you say
charge.
my last
Like,
name?
oh my goodness,
Lick,
how am I supposed to say your last name?
Lickty, like a golf tee.
Liechty. There. All right. So and she's over registration. So why don't you introduce yourself, Crystal?
What? Introduce myself?
Yeah,
I'm
introduce.
Crystal. I'm over registration.
And what do you do? Like what do you do professionally? What do you do?
Oh, okay. I'm a book editor. I work for Heather Moore at Precision Editing Group. I've published one book so far, and I have children.
Ooh. And how long have you been with Storymakers?
Gosh, well, I think 2006 was the first conference I went to, and I got published that same year. So I guess since 2007, I've been a story maker and involved in helping with the conferences. I think there was 1 year I didn't help because I just had a baby, and then other than that, I've done something to help.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna talk about registration. Because actually, I feel like I remember my first year in Storymakers. That was pretty. It was pretty nerve-wracking. Like I was going to this table, I didn't know anybody. They got
A
my
scary
name
table.
wrong. They got my name wrong, so they
That's
couldn't
a
find my
dig at
name
me, you
badge.
guys, because I was the one that did his name badge.
It was nerve-wracking. So, and it definitely sets the tone. Like the fact that the people at registration were so friendly. Actually, that's where I met Rebecca Blevins. Rebecca was
Yeah,
the one who found my tag, and because she found my tag, like we've been friends ever since, and it set the tone for the conference.
she
So
saved the day.
you did, yeah. So Crystal, why don't you start off? Tell us what should someone expect who's new to Storymakers? What should they expect at registration?
So, I mean, it's your basic registration experience. You go to the table, you line up based on what your last name is. So we usually have 3 different tables depending on where the last names fall. So you just go to your appropriate line and waiting for your turn and tell them your last name, and they'll pull out your badge. And then I printed up a badge so I could show you guys. So
Oh,
this is what your badge will look like. And the way we do the badges is it's your name on the front, and then if you're a story maker, we note that. But your badge is kind of your ticket.
So that's what your badge
Yeah.
will look like.
What? Yeah, that's what your badge is going to look like. Okay, so this is the front, so everyone can say, hi, Crystal, however you want to butcher my name. But the back is your ticket to the experience. This is how we know what to do with you. So whatever your meals are will be listed right there. And then if you signed up for any intensive, because as you guys know, those are extra, so you kind of need a ticket to get in. So this is your ticket. It'll show what intensive you signed up for, what day, so that you can get into those experiences. And then we also have like ribbons for you guys. So if you're on the conference committee, you get your own ribbon. We also, and this is kind of an important thing we do, you see this mentor ribbon right here? This means if anyone has this on their name badge, it means if you have any question at all about anything, they can help you. So as Michael was saying, going to a conference can be a little overwhelming, and especially because we've gotten so huge. So we ask a lot of people who have experience with our conferences to be mentors. And so if you're wandering around and you're lost or you're confused or you even want advice on what class to go to, anything at all, you can find somebody with this on their badge and they will help you with that. Do you want me to
that's
talk
awesome.
more about ribbons?
Well, oh well, where do we get the K-drama one?
You got to talk to me, and you got to tell me that you like K-drama. So the thing is, the other thing about ribbons is sometimes we have fun with them. There are people who print their own ribbons for their own cost and then hand them out. So I had these K-drama ones made last year because I'm obsessed with Korean dramas, as anyone who's met me knows. And so I was just handing them out to anyone who also liked Korean dramas, or even if they were willing to give them a try later, I would give them a ribbon because I'm that easy. But I know Sarah Eden had some last year that said
Oh,
taller than Sarah Eden, and I think Dennis Gaunt had some that said shorter than Dennis Gaunt. So you can find people with fun ribbons and get crazy with it. And then we also have like a Whitney finalist ribbon. So for the Whitney finalists, they can put this on their badge. All of our teachers get a faculty ribbon. Our official photographers, so that you don't get scared when they're coming at you with a camera. If they don't have this, then they're just taking the picture for fun. But if they
oh,
have this,
I need one
yeah.
of those. by the
Crystal,
way.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. Michael, you too. Just so that you guys know, we do have Storymakers Tribe has little like ribbons that we're going to hand out to everyone. So everyone will they'll be able to make their own little sort of ribbon. So anyway, just
Nice.
be aware that we have cool stuff coming for that too. Okay, go ahead.
Excellent. Yeah, so
Cool.
the ribbons are kind of a fun identifier for your badges, another way to communicate via name badge. So,
Okay, so one follow-up question.
yeah.
If you said that the back of the tag is their official like ticket sort of thing,
Yeah.
what happens if that doesn't align with what they thought they bought? What do we do?
So then you just come to registration and we figure out where the error is. So maybe there was a problem with registration, or maybe you signed up for something different than what you thought you signed up for. So basically you have to come to registration and get that. My kids are in the back. And get that taken care of with us, because what we're planning to do is check the back as you go into the intensives. So if it's not correct, we would need to get that fixed before your intensive class, or you might not be able to get in.
Cool. And then obviously the getting into the meals, right? Because that's the limiting factor, right? In the convention hall is how many meals we have prepared. So
Yeah.
we want to make sure that they double check that they have the right meals that they think they're supposed to have, correct?
So I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe, I mean, we list the meals on here anyway, so you guys know, because food is important to everyone. But I believe these are also your ticket for your meals. Unless you have the special needs meals, then you get a separate ticket depending on what your special need was, because that's further organized. But if you just signed up for the basic meals, this will let the servers know what food to give you. So that's why I said this is your ticket to everything.
Awesome. All right, so I think we've covered most of the stuff. Let's actually do, we have two questions that were submitted earlier, and it looks like Aaron has already asked some questions on YouTube, so let's hit those. Diane Dittmer Monson, oh my gosh, I'm butchering everyone's name today.
You're actually not bad.
Is asking, well, we already answered the first part, is that where we get our badges and stuff? And the answer is yes. She's also asking, is that where we send bribes to registration? To the
Yes.
staff?
I accept any and all bribes, and I can list my favorite forms of chocolate as well. What is she trying to bribe for? You might want to narrow it down.
It's just,
I mean, you can give me stuff. I don't have any power, so yeah, I will take your bribes. I don't know what I can do with them.
And then Stephanie K. Williams is asking, what happens if, and this is her theoretical, and then we'll make it into an actual an actual question. So theoretically, well, not theoretically, she actually does live several states away, and on the way, my car is hijacked by a hammer-wielding budgie. I don't know what that is. Leaving me stranded in a snowstorm in western Wyoming with only a broken cell phone to my name, and knowing there would be no possible way for me to make it to conference. Can I give my registration to somebody else? So registration's transferable.
If you do it personally, I mean, I think if it's like the day of the conference, that's harder to pull off because the badges are printed and sorted. So if you arrange it with someone else, gosh, I don't even know, because we don't really have that come up that often. I guess if you want to transfer it, you can. Just don't, because it's more work for me.
All right, and then on YouTube, we have one live question. It says, if you're using a pen name and have that on your tag, will your badge be under your actual last name or under your pen name? I think that's
yes, I'm glad you asked that, because I did forget to mention that. Yeah, this year, because of Michael and all his drama about his name on his name badge, we added a new field to our registration, so you can enter your pen name. So yes, your name badge will be sorted by your pen name. So give us that. And if you go to registration and you're giving us your name and it's not working and you have a pen name, try that, because that's what will be printed on your badge. So the field, when you were doing your registration and it said pen name, that whatever you put in that field is what will be on your name badge.
All right. And I think that's it. And I think we've answered all the questions. I don't see any more. I'm going to refresh the YouTube page one last time, and then we'll see if anything came in. And then hopefully it doesn't start blaring all the sound. Oh, I turned off my speakers, so we should be good. Internet.
It's my fish face.
I'm
It's a
looking at
good
my.
thing. It's a good thing Crystal has her moves.
I have my
Oh,
moves.
Michael, did you introduce yourself?
No, why would I introduce myself?
Oh, here, let's do that while you're looking up things. I'll introduce you and I'll introduce me. I am Nikki
All right.
Triumpho. I am with Storymakers Tribe, and I do webinars. So I'm just hosting. I'm not really supposed to be doing anything. But
You're
Michael is
producing.
our
You're
tech
producing.
guy for Storymakers Tribe, and he had this idea of getting this information out to you guys in a kind of tech-friendly, fun way. So we want to thank him, and we want to thank Crystal especially. We're going to hand the time back over to Michael. He'll be our final goodbye, and if we have any questions, we'll cover that. Otherwise, we'll see you guys later. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no, it looks like we're all super good. Aaron, you're welcome. We appreciate you coming in and stopping to chat. We're gonna post this up on the Storymakers Tribe and the conference page, the YouTube hard link. It's not gonna be live, so Crystal won't be able to magically go back in time and answer questions. But you probably can still comment and answer and ask any questions. But otherwise, thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. Crystal, thank you so much for your time and
Thanks
letting
for
us interview
having
you,
me.
the
Yeah.
queen of registration. And if you see Crystal on conference, make
Oh,
sure.
shout out to Cassie she's also Cassie Bay. She's my helper. She's my co-queen. So she's also awesome.
And Crystal likes chocolate, and that's all we
I
need to
do
know.
so much. So
Thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys.
thanks.